Hey, what's up, everybody? It's me, Danae, and I'm here with a message for you. Hope everybody's doing well today. It's Tuesday, October 15th, 2024. Smack in the middle of October, just about. My son is counting down for Halloween every day. Like it's Christmas. He already has his costume. He's already made me let him try it all on 2 times now. Oh man, gotta love this season, gotta love it. I wanted to dress up this year. Right now, it's not looking like I'm going to because I haven't seen anything too interesting in my travels. But anything could change in the next couple of weeks, so I'm still open to it. But what I really want to be, I don't really have the liberty to go all out in that regard this year. But like I said, anything could change. We'll see. Let's see what we got here today. Thank you, Most High, for another powerful message ahead of time. And let's see what we got. 6 of Cups. This could be past relationship. It could be a family memory. Could be a past life connection. I've been really harping on that a lot lately. Not that I mean to, because I know everyone may not subscribe to that ideal, but you know, it's definitely been reoccurring. So 6 of Cups. Let's see what else we got. So this is a past life offer or an ex offering. But look at this dynamic. To the Queen of Cups. But then we got the Sun though. So either there is the potential for this to be a really precious, I would say, connection. One that not only has a past life reference or something very familiar, maybe even again an ex that resurfaces, and it could be really good, you know, with the Sun card here, something quite productive that has a lot of promise, so on and so forth. And or there could be something to be revealed of perhaps the nature of this offer in the 6 of Cups, like maybe what of it is mysterious, I would say. You know, like maybe even the motivation or the true motive behind this offer, whether or not it's pure, honest, upright, trustworthy, all of that good stuff. Either the Sun is going to expose the true nature that it is or that it isn't. Because honestly, I gotta be true to what my initial thought was before I saw the sun, when I saw the Knight of Cups to the Queen of Cups, and this potentially being a connection between the two, it feels a bit imbalanced. But it's weird because with the Knight of Cups, there's a slight imbalance with the Queen of Cups, but in the Six of Cups, there's a slight imbalance between the masculine and the feminine in the opposite way. So this is what I'm saying about it could be a revelation or some exposure of the true nature of this connection. Maybe that what it appears to be on sight is more than what meets the eye, or even more than what's being proposed or presented. Maybe the Knight of Cups, there's more to that energy than what it looks like at face value. And maybe the Queen of Cups might be more open to that upon revelation. But generally speaking, at face value, it feels like a bit of a slight imbalance. Because the Knight of Cups could be very well intentioned to offer this cup to be emotionally expressive and maybe even have an intention to exchange love and to be open to intimacy. The question for me is what was curious for me is the true balance of these energies as they are. Even with all the familiarity in the world, all the best intentions, the sweetest the sweetest taboo. Ooh, that could be something. You give me the sweetest taboo. That's why I'm in love with you. You give me the sweetest taboo. Sometimes I think you're just too good for me. Ooh, there could have that spirit come through. So here it is. This could be how someone might even see themselves in the eyes of someone else whom they either have a great affinity for, or it could be how they perceive their object of affection. Like in their eyes of themselves, they may see themselves as more or less like, just a modest knight, like a humble servant of sorts, you know what I mean? Or it actually could be somebody younger. There's the other part. That could be the difference in energy, is that the knight is actually younger and the queen is usually a little bit more mature. Or it could even be an imbalance or difference, let's say, in experience. Whatever it is, based off of that song coming through, it absolutely, and by the way, that's Sade. I mean, I feel like that goes without saying, but just in case, that's Sweetest Taboo by Sade, and of course, I will post it in the comments and on the community tab. But yeah, it could be how someone sees themselves and sees the object of their affection. There could even be a bit of I would say I feel like a slight intimidation in that regard. And maybe not intimidation, but just like a carefulness in the approach on account of how someone may reverence the object of their affection. Maybe even reverencing the connection itself as something so precious and delicate that it needs to be handled with care, to the point where someone could be over cautious, or their perspective of the whole of this, package could be sweetly out of alignment. In this case, maybe not so much of an insecurity, because that would be a bit, that would be in the red flag zone for someone to really not think too much of themselves. And even though they have their eyes set on someone they think a great deal of, that could be a recipe for a connection to falter. If someone doesn't really value themselves. Ideally, I would love to be seeing the King of Cups here offering to the Queen of Cups. However, like I said, who knows what the so-called difference is? And the thing that's saving it, aside from the sun, of course, which kind of literally overpowers it all into more of a positive light. But the thing that saves it as well is this Six of Cups energy, whereas I said in the picture, it's the opposite. It's like, this is like a little lady here, but I think they're really supposed to be kind of like kids. And the masculine energy that's offering the cup to the little lady is actually kind of towering over her. So it speaks to me that what someone may perceive, I would say in a very modest perspective, is probably positive for the point of reverence of their object of affection, but again, just a little bit off, if nothing else, from them seeing themselves as just as precious as whomever they're idolizing, if that makes sense. Like in the divine's eyes, look, here's the Two of Wands under here that peeked out. Yeah, and that could even be make an influence on how someone approaches this proposition, or approaches their crush, or again, their object of affection here. But what I was going to say is, in the eyes of Source, we're all children, literally. Everybody is a descendant of the divine. So if it's ordained really and truly, and maybe this is what the light is for, to shed a more pure light on the whole picture for all parties, maybe the one who doesn't really see themselves a certain way as they should, maybe the one of which may or may not, because I don't know, maybe he could even be apprehensive because of the thought of how his offer would be received based on how he perceives himself and how he reveres the receptor. But maybe the truth of it all is that although that may not, that assumption may not be as pure as it's considered from a distance, from where this person stands, is what I'm trying to get to. So like I said, there's something to be exposed here, like some truth, revelation, something to be made clear. Maybe each person's true come from and motivation, but also the revelation of this union and what it is and what it isn't, but more emphasis on what it is, I feel, if all of this is true, because for someone, it looks like he's en route, I would say that. But as I said, with that Two of Wands, it could be a contemplation and a consideration about how to approach, if not altogether, if to approach. I'm not sure based off the three cards, but if so, it still would open up, it still would would be an invitation for someone to have to go and see, you know, to see what is revealed of their overview of the situation in truth and reality, to see if there would be open reception, or if it's, you know, just wishful thinking or a nice gesture or whatever, a sweet gesture. But sweetest taboo, with all this cup energy and the sun, feels pretty positive. Feels pretty positive. There's a quiet storm, and I never felt this before. There's a quiet storm, that is you. Wow. Yeah, so there's some type of buildup and anticipation, even as someone is either gathering themselves to approach or actually is en route. It's not short of a lot of deep consideration. You know, it's like, even if and here go the ice cream man once again. Even if somebody is like thoughtful about their approach, it's like the whole way there, they nervous. Whole way there, they're trying to, you know, go over the best case scenario again, like almost trying to like will themselves into, you know, keep themselves in the mindset of the most positive outcome, you know, going over what they want to say again, thoughtful about thinking about the potential, the potential responses that they could incur, you know what I mean? Like, it's something like that here, like somebody, because it's not the King of Swords, the Knight of Swords, where he would be going the opposite way anyway. It's not the Knight of Pentacles, where he's really taking his sweet old time. It's somebody that's definitely en route, but they're deeply considerate about not only their thoughts and intentions on the way, but how it's going to be received in this case. Because there's a lot, they're very emotionally invested in the outcome of this connection on account of their proposal. Interesting. Let's see what else we got here. Oh man, look at this. Oh, I got 3 cards in here. Hold up. Oh wow. Oh wow. So it's given, this is the contemplation here, but it's given that somebody no longer has the liberty to just think themselves into anxiety. It's like do or die now. You know, where someone has been, like I said, deep in contemplation, allowing themselves to just like overthink every possibility. Well, what if she says this? What if this happens? Or what if she's not interested? Or what if I'm too young? Or what if I'm too late? You know, what if I'm too old? You know, all these things that somebody is considering before this is like before it even occurs. This is that energy here, the 9 of Swords, where they have gone through everything. Now in this case, 9 of Swords, sometimes that can absolutely be the energy of like overthinking all of the worst case scenarios. But I like that I'm seeing the Ace of Wands and the Eight of Wands because there's some jolt of energy, some awakening or breakthrough, I would say, that has occurred that ultimately has put someone into motion and into action, where they're no longer allowing themselves to overthink the possibilities before they just set out to find out what it's going to be. Whichever, to trust and be hopeful for the best, hopefully, with that sun energy and with this wand energy too. For sure, it feels like that, but certainly not to contemplate the potential anymore. Like there's some type of breakthrough or push that someone is feeling energetically. It's like somebody got up one day and it's like, all right, today's the day. I don't care what's getting in my way. I don't care, what I'm still unsure about, what I still feel I need to work on, what I'm still insecure about, what I'm still afraid of. Even like somebody would be willing to push all of that aside. It feels like an urgency. That's what it feels like. An urgency about the approach, especially with the Eight of Wands. It feels like a breakthrough and an urgency, like, okay, time is not getting any slower. Time's not going to hold back for me anymore to consider all the ways that this could go wrong. It feels like somebody coming to terms with the fact that they could waste time at this point and miss an opportunity altogether. Forget the thought of what could go wrong. They might miss it completely. And someone is resolved that would be more devastating than to proposition, and have it go in all the wrong ways, at least. And I feel like before, with this Nine of Swords energy, somebody was kind of teetering more on the other side, that, well, if contemplating all the things that could go wrong and being so deeply invested, they almost don't want to approach for fear of the rejection or for fear that it wouldn't go well or be what they truly desired. But now someone is there's some fire under somebody's ass. I don't know how or why or what, but they feel like the chance, forfeiting the chance or gambling the opportunity is the worst case scenario. To lose that opportunity would be more detrimental than for it to just not turn out. Well, yeah, look at this, the Chariot, the way that they want. And somebody is, and this is fast action too, so somebody is on a good foot. Good Lord. It's literally like somebody just sprung into action suddenly and said, today is the day. No more waiting. All the things that they thought they needed to have in order or would want in order before they bust a move, it's like suddenly none of that matters anymore. Or unless everything is in order, all these Eights of Wands, maybe. But I feel like there's this sudden energy from the Nine of Swords to the Ace and the Eight of Wands feels like, fuck it. I'm going, I'm going, I'm calling, I'm texting, I'm emailing, I'm writing, I'm showing up, like whatever. There's some action behind this intention. It's strong, it's willful, it's focused, it's driven. And I like that it's the Chariot because it still is heavy on the success rate here. Either that someone has visualized and is intentional of for themselves, no matter what, even to have a positive outlook, no matter how it goes, is still strong. It's still a strong approach. But it feels like somebody really sees the best case scenario for themselves now. And that's part of the drive as well. And for that, with the sun leading all of this, that is a great indicator and signifier that it probably is going to be a good outcome. It probably will be. I mean, you got Ace of Wands energy and Eight of Wands energy at your, at your disposal. That's a strong supportive force field of ambition, of creativity, of passion, and passion in a pure sense too. It's like somebody would be justified to go for it, whatever it is, even if we're not talking about, some pursuit of connection or intimacy or object of affect, whatever it is, like somebody definitely has a green light to go for it. All gas, no brakes. All right, so let's see. There is no cause for hesitation on this board yet. Only somebody's own thoughts and considerations. Ooh, that was the Lovers. Wow. The Lovers. And then here this goes, falling out. But it's like somebody's getting right there. But this is also the wind behind the careful consideration, which I'm also not mad at. Because remember I said it's like somebody's thinking the whole way of what they're going to say, how they're going to present their position, what might be said, what might be the response. Then what's next? Like somebody is still, that's what this is depicting here. It's like they're up, they're at them, they're moving forward swiftly, and even in the ways where their thoughts may still be ruminating into, a slowdown or still a deep consideration. The action, it's like the divine is carrying them with their best intentions. Like the ways that their mind might be wanting to say, maybe I should slow down, or maybe I should reconsider, or still thoughtful about all the possibilities, that they're already in motion. The moment they broke through and made the decision that today's the day, or this is the moment, or now's the time, is when that activated the divine to get in, to be in support of that intention. And it's like somebody probably couldn't go back even if they wanted to at this point. It's like somebody's already too far along really to turn back now, but they're still careful and they're still very thoughtful and very intentional about what they are coming to offer. But I like that. If it was any other night, it might be like, but between the Knight of Cups in this frequency with the Sun and the Knight of Pentacles, it's a lot of modesty here. And it's somebody that, I guess you can never be too humble or too modest unless it veers into being insecure. But I don't really get that. I just get that until someone maybe perhaps has evidence of their success, like somebody has to just kind of get it out of their system to get to it. You know what I mean? Because until there's this moment of connection or even confrontation, so to speak, but in a good way, this person's never going to be subdued and subdued in their over considerations. Like this is somebody that until they get to the girl, let's say, or get to the point of destination, they're always going to have one foot in, more or less one foot in the best possibilities and one foot in the worst case scenario. But once they get to the moment of truth is when perhaps all of their anxieties may dissipate, because there'll be no more buildup and eagerness about it, no more mystery. Remember I said there's like a mystery about this that is needing to be revealed. But it's being revealed in the light of the sun, not in the moon, which is more ambiguity and obscurity, but in the light of the sun, it makes all things clear, like crystal clear. So it just seems like somebody just needs to get on with it. It's not going to ever be any more comforting to them to think about it and consider it than it is for them to just rip the Band-Aid off and get to the point of confrontation, whatever that means. Yeah, look at this, a magician. Somebody definitely is not giving themselves enough credit, it feels like. All this power, and it also is given that somebody's pure intentions have already kind of done the work for them, but they don't realize that yet because the evidence is not tangible yet, like to get to the rendezvous point of actually the sacred question and answer. You know what I mean? It's like you could idealize, visualize, even fantasize about this precious moment of connection for hours and hours, but until it materializes in the 3D, that's kind of all it is. It's just a fantasy or a dream. It's like somebody's already put in more than enough work in terms of the visualization to manifest, but I don't know, it's like maybe this is a moment of truth for some to actually realize their manifestation power, to see it in real time, like, wow, like this is what I dreamed of, or this is what I really hoped for, or I had faith for, or I visualized it going like a certain way, maybe even down to the responses or the reactions. Somebody has already ran the script over and over in their head, and it's hard to really, humanly to just assume that it's going the way that you intended to go, because there's so much room for error or for divine ordinance to realign things, even with your best intentions. But this is somebody that has meticulously manifested a moment of reunion or reconnection or divine connection in some way, shape, or form, and all that's left is for them to step into it. That's wild. Like they've dotted all the I's, they've crossed all the T's, they've made every consideration under the sun, good, bad, and everything in between, and now it's just time to make it happen. Wow, stop. Cut it out. So that we just went from the magician to the like, okay. So we're not just talking about a magician, a master manifester. We're talking about an alchemist that has the audacity to question his power. What? This doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. Because this says still, now of course, we want it the way that we want it, but what this also says is that somebody is so balanced that no matter what the result is, they can alchemize it to their benefit. So if somebody says, yes, 1,000 times yes, you had me at hello type of energy, of course that will probably be the best case scenario. But if somebody says, oh, I love you, or I really appreciate the offer, or the proposal, or the proposition, or whatever, the gesture, but I don't think right now is the right time, or I don't know how I feel, like whatever, it's the Queen of Cups. So it's not likely that that would be her response when it comes to an offer of love, as long as it's pure. And with the Temperance, that's a good sign. It's saying to me that the divine has all the faith in the world in this person. They're just needing to catch up with what is, like what the divine feels of them, or what the divine is projecting to them, even on account of how this unfolds in itself. It's like somebody still needs some evidence. They still need, they don't feel like they have enough like hardcore receipts in their life to prove to them their worth and value. They're too modest, too humble to some degree. And I mean, it's a safe zone to play in for sure, but with all of this power on the board and all this accessibility to power, it's like somebody's kind of playing too small. And certainly love is the frequency that's most prevalent here, and passion, but those are the two force fields behind manifestation of any sort, that would transmit to business, to creativity, to success, to just about anything that you endeavor. It's like somebody needs to really understand how favored they are. And in the moment they cross this threshold into whatever this, greatly anticipated moment is for them, is when they'll finally realize it. But by God, if they get there, if they just get there, my goodness, this is like somebody literally trying to like stall. They're like at the door and they're trying to stall a little bit and go over their checklist all over again, like, oh, am I sure is this the right time? That's the consideration with the Pentacles. It's about time. Is this the right time? The Temperance is meeting somebody like, yes, don't you dare turn back. They couldn't turn back if they wanted to, though. This energy here would probably burn if it tried to turn back. If they tried to turn back. But this Temperance is more of a comforting presence to say, like, when the angels show up, it's particularly to humanity in some way, shape, or form. It's a reflective force. It's showing up to actually show you who you are, like to affirm you or confirm you, whether it be by the word that is imparted through that encounter, or through the experience, sometimes even through the projection of a recollection of an encounter or an experience that would confirm or affirm you in the present, like you've done this before, this is how that transfers to now, you know what I mean? There's some point of reassurance when it comes to angelic encounters that is to ground you and advance you. It's like, you can't stay here. Just want you to know, yes, you are indeed equipped with everything you need to keep going. Now it's time to keep going, all right? Okay. And sometimes when you try to, like, go back on that affirmation, to double back, like I said, that's when you could actually end up hurting yourself or putting yourself in a worse position than where you started from, especially considering if you miss an opportunity to move forward when you got all the divine support in the world to do so. You know, you probably damn near want to off yourself just contemplating the possibilities that you forfeited, you know? So anyway, it's like this temperance angel, when we go from the magician to the temperance, that's the reflective energy. Somebody may revere them or may have evidence, you know, because that's more the material aspect of the temperance, which is more ethereal and spiritual. And it's like, okay, well, I know I've made some shit shake before in my past. I know I can make some things happen when I need to, but this is no guarantee. This is something different. Like this might feel like it's out of somebody's comfort zone, which could be the reason why the night is the night, because maybe love is the thing that they feel like they're a bit of a novice to in some way, at least expressing it on this level, you know, which is understandable generally speaking. For if there's anyone that holds a connection with this much regard, it could be intimidating, you know, where you like somebody so much that you don't want to F it up, you know what I mean? Or say the wrong thing, or again, come at the wrong time. You kind of want everything to be perfect as perfect can be. But at the magician energy, there's somebody still like, you know, just they're in an exalted physical energy and projection of power, but there's still some room for doubt when we're talking about the magician, because we're still talking about natural three-dimensional elements, to say the least. But here it is with the temperance showing up like, oh no, like I said, this is a reflective encounter. If somebody doesn't realize that they actually are an alchemist, that they make spirit into matter. They don't just make illusions. They don't just, you know, work with smoke and mirrors. This is somebody that literally has the ability to create something out of nothing. So even in the ways that there may not have been a chance, perhaps, it's like they've already created that moment and they don't even realize it. They don't even know it. So what they're in deep contemplation about as a potential fail is actually a win that they've already established for themselves. They created the moment already ahead of them. All they literally have to do is walk into it. Oh my goodness. That's deep. All I gotta do is walk into it in faith. Oh my gosh, like release the baggage, release all the thoughts, the considerations, the worries, the fears. Like this is just come as you are energy. Just come on in. Yep, we've been expecting you. Come right this way, sir. That's wild. That's all somebody had. It's like somebody's raising the degree of difficulty for themselves and on themselves, and there are energies on post that are reassuring someone like, no, you're good. This is the right time. Yep, you're in the right energy. Yep, you can be trusted with, you know, with this experience. Yep, you're ready for it. No, there's nothing else to think about. There's nothing else to worry about. There's nothing else to consider, nothing to be afraid of. Not only are you all that you want to be, you're actually more than that, and you'll see that when you get there. This is so funny to me. All right, let's see. Oh, jeez, a few more. Look at this. Just get your ass on that boat and cross over already. Wow. Everything that you need will be there. Everything you need will be there when you get there. on the bottom. Everything that you need and desire to be fulfilled is not only at the destination, but apparently it's on the way at that. This is so funny. Oh my goodness. If this is anybody that can relate and you in deep contemplation about the next move you about to take, if this is not confirmation that you have the green light, I don't know what is. And it could, again, it doesn't have to be limited to an actual love interest. This could just be an opportunity that you want so bad. Like it's something you've been dreaming about, you've been fantasizing about. It's like the desires of your heart wrapped into this one thing, at least so it feels. So much so that to not have it feels devastating to even consider, because that's how connected you feel to it. All pure vibes, like not obsession or you're going to die without it type of energy, but just something that you really hold dear to your heart. Ain't nothing wrong with that. This is your sign that it's as good as yours. You've earned it. You have whatever work that you've already put in toward it to cultivate the identity that would obtain it has been well worth it and effective. You have the support of the divine to approach or pursue whichever applies. You have everything that you need to approach or pursue. If you have the divine support, then certainly you have everything you need. With that Fool card, you actually don't need much. Pack as light as possible, particularly mentally speaking. Like this could be somebody that, you just want to have every little detail figured out, as the Magician card can be with that Virgo energy, like all the details and the, the specs in line before you step out. But it's saying that you done all that, and whatever else that you feel you may be lacking, you'll get on the way, or you'll get it when you get there. It'll all make sense to you no matter what. But the only detriment of delay at this point is just to your own fulfillment of desires. Like you're not gaining anything more in the contemplation and consideration than you would to just go on ahead and claim or receive whatever it is that you're idolizing, because it's waiting for you or expecting you just as much as you are desiring it. That's what this is saying to me. And the Six of Swords is also safe passageway to more calmer waters. Again, the moment you leave behind all of this consideration and anxiety and eagerness and just get on with the journey, is the faster you can get to more peace and a more peaceful and calmer existence on the other side. Okay, we got the King of Pentacles here. All right. Finally, somebody seeing themselves as a king. Oh my gosh. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Literally. The King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles, who fell on the floor, mind you, but still, all the same, here is the partnership, and here is the equal balance, finally, at the point of arrival, when somebody finally allows themselves to affirm their high value, and then can also be affirmed that this is a match made in heaven. This is a match made in heaven. Two people that may be modest in spirit, but have a great, like a precious value in truth. May even be both wealthy, or certainly well established, prestigious, what do you call it? Affluent, successful in truth, in a material sense. I'm kind of astounded. I'm not gonna lie. I cannot, and they're both facing each other at that. This is beautiful. Is this the proof that you wanted? Here it is. This is literally the tangible, hardcore, not the cups, not the wands, not even the swords. This is the pentacles in both the masculine and feminine form. Material evidence of a sound, sacred, and prosperous partnership. Just as good as gold. My goodness. What's the taboo of it all? So maybe the taboo, again, could be the differences, or I'll say the perceived differences between these two entities or energies. Maybe even somebody seeing an opportunity as bigger than them, if we're not talking about a love interest, like something that's so grand that they're not sure they really match up to it or fit in with it or have what it takes to fill the shoes or the requirements that it would demand, or whatever. Like whatever it is, there's been enough confirmation for that too. I was thinking about sweetest taboo and why that was coming up, but when it all funnels down to it, it's saying that this is, whomever is in contemplation is just as much a perfect fit for what they are reverencing as it is a perfect fit for them. There's no mismatch here. There's no misalignment. I don't care if you 10 years younger, 15 years older, two different cultures, different political views, different upbringings and backgrounds, completely different professions, like anything that could be considered taboo, religious views and perspectives, versus spiritual, whatever. Like whatever it is, it's a sweet taboo. It's something that may seem different and contrasting or conflicting by a human perspective and outlook, but the divine fully ordains and endorses it, is well aligned to maybe, the difference of it all is exactly what fits together perfectly to make something that's quite balanced and equal and harmonious, and the different aspects of it being united harmoniously is what will ultimately advance the impact and impression that it gets to make forwardly. Like a partnership, two people that don't really look like they should be together, or by certain characteristics would seem like a mismatch, but together they're just like peanut butter and jelly. They go together perfectly. And because they pull from two different frequencies of folks, it expands the range of inspiration collectively, because what you do, I don't do, and what I do, you don't do, but together we add that value, we expand our value together, and it becomes more precious than it is disconnected. Precious. That's the operative word here. Definitely precious. Anyway, wow, Six of Wands, and what else? Oh my God, precious. Oh my goodness, I can't take this reading. It's amazing. And look, here I was in the beginning before I saw that sun card. Thank God for the sun, because I was finna be on some like the Knight of Cups to the Queen of Cups. Because with the Six of Cups, you just never know. Like everything that has a familiar essence isn't always positive. Sometimes the Six of Cups could talk about relational experiences that are traumatic, or toxic, that need to be released and moved forward from. But in this case, it was quite the opposite. The sun really saved the day for it. It's like, It's like, no misconception here. I don't want you to think on sight because it looks this way or it seems that way. Perhaps even the consideration of an old friend or an ex, or something that you would initially write off like, man, ain't nobody doing that again. Perhaps this is one of those rare moments, those precious moments, literally, that something gets, a second chance, gets to be regenerated in a pure form. I ain't talking about now nobody that just stomped all over your heart and all over your self-respect and that your dignity and pride, intentionally. But there could be an open possibility for reconnection and reunion, reconciliation, for something that just needed time to evolve, one to another. Everybody just needed time to grow. And then this present moment, or the moment of presence, would be that defining moment of reconnection that, the divine can actually ordain, because everybody's on the same page, or both parties, I should say, are on the same page now. And that's the key, that's the ticket right here. This is amazing. And there's so much in store to move forward. It's like this is just the baseline. It's about to get so much better with this Ace of Pentacles. This is just infinite abundance. Infinite, like there's no way to contain how prosperous this connection can be, just on account of taking the chance to go and see, or even go and get it at this point. Go and be it, above all. Because it's already as good as done. Literally, it's like as good as already done. I'm astounded. I'm astounded. Successful unions underway for those that are in the market for it. If you are in contemplation of something that keeps you up at night, and or at least you have all the signs and signals at this point to give you the green light. I ain't talking about if you don't know and you know that you threw that away. Like, yeah, ain't no coming back to that. I'm talking about when in your heart is something that you can't let go, and there's really no reason for you to think that it's not possible, except for the things that you tell yourself could happen if you were to go and find out. go ahead and take the chance. Go ahead and take the chance and see if this is relating to you in any kind of way, you're in good hands and you're on good authority to go get what you deserve and go be what someone or something else clearly desires. That's amazing. Well, I'm gonna leave it there. Good luck and Godspeed, literally, Godspeed. Thank you for listening and watching. Until next time, as always, I'll leave you with peace.